Good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead. How are you? Back today. Now, what we're going to do here, a lot of you would be saying there's issues with our politics. There are always issues with our politics. We know that. But I'm going to be honest, they're a little bit where I'd say worse than they were before, or things that we don't understand. We don't understand why certain things are done. I'm the type of person, I'm very logical, and it's like, why would you do this if you do that? So, the reality is that, and I get approached by this by a group of animals, real animals, because I'm an animal channel. So they said, hey, we got to find an animal channel, and they found All Power Group in Phoenix Animals. So I am kind of their photographer, you might say, a videographer. So the animals have just said, it's not acceptable the way things are going. And we're going to do what we need to do to make things right. So today, and this is going to be an ongoing process of things that happen politically during the day, probably the next day, and I don't mean I'm doing it every day for your sake, but they will be coming back on and they will discuss what they feel has not been a good situation, that particular, probably the day before, and how they would logically solve the problem. So let me introduce you to our animal group. And what we run into, these animals have the same political roles as our humans. Now, first of all, we have the leader, president, a wise elephant matriarch. Now, advisor to the president is Mr. Fox. Fox are smart. They're clever. And we need some smarts and some things to be clever. And, root for them. Please tell them, hey, you're doing a good job, because they're going to try real hard. And they're saying, we have had fun doing our own thing, but we realize that we have a duty to solve our problems. So, as you would expect, we have to have an opposition leader, because we don't want it to be a dictatorship. So there's got to be an opposition leader. So that is the clever hyena. A very good opposition leader. But the good difference here is everybody tells the truth. That's one of the rules in our political system with our animals. They have to tell the truth, and they have to work together. And I know you're saying, well, that's unique, but they're going to try to do it. And we'll do it, because I know them. I wouldn't be doing an animal channel if I didn't have this faith. I wouldn't be putting myself on this line to say, hey, we found a better solution. Now, we have our public and voters. And there's voters on the right, there's voters on the left, there's voters on the middle. I mean, we can go on and on and on. But what is neat about this whole issue is the voters, so that we have a collective gang, but they're not against each other. So we have a colony of macaques, excuse me. Sorry, macaques, I didn't mean to say the wrong thing. So they are going to be our voters. They are very one-minded in the sense, as you can see, they're all dressed the same. And I said to them, hey, and all the animals actually, you can be who you want to be. You can dress how you want to dress. You can have as many that you want, etc., etc. So these are our American voters. Their collective behavior will represent public opinion. Now, let's talk about the ministers and advisors, which is Congress. Now, again, what's neat about the Congress, and these are monkeys, and I'm going to say again, I'm going to repeat, they work together, novel idea, both on the right and the left, however you want to separate it. And moreover, they tell the truth. You know, the animals watching TV every day, they're saying, no one's telling the truth. And of course, there is different opinion. We understand that. But there's also opinion, and where you would say people look at things this way or that way, but it's not where they're lying. You know, one group's always is saying, well, I'm going to say the opposite of the other group just because we're opposite groups. Because you would think, does it make any sense to have it where because I wear blue suits and you wear green suits, that we're going to act differently? We're going to not tell the truth? And we're not going to get anything accomplished. So thank goodness we've got a team here that are going to work together. Now, what the monkeys are known for their social structures and intelligence. So, again, they will work together and they will do a very good job in making decisions that benefits everybody. We can't cater to interest groups. We don't want to get into things like pride and things that really don't have anything to do with anything. It doesn't help the public. It doesn't help the people. Now, as you would expect, and again, this is following the same structure of our government, we're going to have what we call lobbyists and special interest groups. So, a group of raccoons who are adept at finding opportunities are going to be the lobbyists and special interest groups. Now, they're going to be working, and what's neat about it, you've got to have, where different opinions come together and get worked out, and we kind of get and hope that we solve the problem. But there's no nefarious process of where our lobbyists are, doing things they shouldn't do that are not really helping anybody except themselves or those that give the raccoons food. No, they're going to be very independent and just help our country turn around and become the country we used to be. We were the leaders on the hill. And I'm really saying that in, generally speaking, we as a country were always looked to as being pretty helpful, smart, and willing to go that extra mile to try to solve not only our own problems, but the world's problems. And we have lost that. There's just nothing that makes any sense. Now, the last group, you might say, are our judges. Now, our judge is an owl. It symbolizes wisdom and impartiality. They can speak better than I can. So, I mean, they should be the one presenting this, not me. But you know how you go. It's like you're voted, so you got to do it. So the owl is so important. We're almost like in what's happening around our legal system is people are acting and saying, well, the judges were not elected like a candidate, so they should not be able to make decisions. Well, they follow the Constitution. And you all know what the Constitution is. And they can be, impartial, and again, use some logic to come up with good decisions. So this owl, it's kind of neat because, again, if you had about 9 owls, you would see, as we do in our current, situation with the Supreme Court, even though they're elected or chosen, they have to, of course, meet with Congress to see if they're going to get approved. Generally speaking, they all just say, no, I'm not going to do anything bad. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do this or that or kill that. So they then get in. But the biggest profound problem, quite honestly, is the concern that they, are going to be at the top of the list. And when they are brought on, and they're brought on as not as Democrats or Republicans or conservative or liberals, they are able to put that behind them and just make sure they, without any political pulling in certain directions, they can make the correct decision based, I know this sounds novel, but based on our Constitution. God bless our forefathers. They put together a hell of a document. It hasn't been changed too much in so many, 100, 200 years. Because they thought of almost everything. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if a president wants to be king? Well, that's all laid out in the Constitution to make sure that we don't have kings. We don't have a dictator. So in general, our animals leaders will solve all our current political problems. And they have promised me that no problem is too big. They will apply logic and the best outcome for our country. And since luckily it's not just our country, it's also the world. So I hope you support my people here in that they're going to do the best job for our country. Now, just to finish up, as I said earlier when I first started, we'll be pulling daily issues, and there's so many daily issues, so it isn't that we can do them all. But we will pick whenever they're deciding to meet and decide on things. I will be presenting what the situation is and the kind of the discourse between the group and them coming up with a concrete solution. And again, this is the fourth time I'll say it. It will not be any lies. It will be truthful, and it won't be based on the fact if they're on the left, the right, the middle, the green, the blue. It's all just based on helping our country. So I hope you will go on this journey with me because, again, as a YouTuber, we're always looking for something that can make us all feel better. And I know, when you look at every day when I look at my feed later in the day, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it's all made up of political issues that have such a demarcation between good, bad, illogical, logical, and not particularly benefiting one group versus another group. It will have it where they work together. So I think this has been a long time coming, and I really feel we're going to have some great results. So please, again, follow me, because this is going to be fun, but it also is going to show some critical thinking that, at least in the last, 5 months, whatever it is, there's no critical thinking. There's no logic. There's no why are we doing this or why are we doing that? And have it where anybody will understand the real reason for things that are happening. And the other big thing that they have promised me is let's say they don't like the raccoons. They're not going to just make a decision based on the fact that they don't like the raccoons. They're going to make a decision that's going to be good for them, good for the raccoons, the maquis, and we will generally, hopefully, survive this and be a better country. Anyway, thank you very much. And again, you will see this on my channel, which is All Power Group Phoenix Animal. The animals have arisen. They're rising. Thank you very much. Wish us all the best in the world. Thank you.